All right, we're at the After Hours Social by Fidelity Imports Gashelli.
Fenestria. Not cheap.
And these are killer.
These are insane.
I couldn't get in earlier because it was so crowded
But
to
fantastic.
hear these.
So in here we have two esteemed gentlemen. Paul Bayless from PMC, who we got to know a minute ago in the other room, who is the UK sales manager.
Yeah. We've met before.
And Mashida-san from Esoteric Tech.
Nice to meet you.
All one
Good to
company
meet you.
these days, right?
Yes.
And I forget your official title, I apologize.
My official title is marketing.
Okay, I mean, I know him as like engineer that knows tons of stuff,
Yeah.
because he's been answering all kinds of technical questions so far for us. So we'd like to demonstrate the gear and turn it over to you.
So we'll introduce what we have first so you guys know what the makeup of the system. I'll dive in first. Fact Fenestria, this is our first showing of Fact Fenestria in the US, so incredibly proud to have it here this weekend, and really appreciate the efforts of Rob and Playback of kind of putting all this together. Fenestria is designed like no other speaker that PMC do, and like no other speaker out on the market. Everything you see there is there for a technical reason, rather than us trying to create a beautiful shape or something overly elegant. It's all about minimising the interference between each component. So we don't want resonance from the tweeter being passed through the aluminium nest to affect the mid-range, and that's vice versa. So the soft dome Sonomix tweeter we have in the Fenestria actually sits in a fluid within its housing, so that's completely isolated from the nest. The nest itself sits in rubber dampers when you place that into the cabinet again, so we're not passing anything from the cabinet back through into the nest. The cabinets are independent of each other. They're two separate cabinets, so two transmission lines there. And people that are familiar with PMC know that ATL and transmission line, that's the core of every PMC speaker. We've also got the laminar vent system that we use to control the airflow in and out of the cabinet. So again, what we're trying to do is minimise airflow running down the baffle and interfering with the two drivers here. The drivers are unique to the Fenestria. That's a new piston driver that we designed for this particular product. So incredibly lightweight, tough, high excursion. And the wings, as we call them on the side, are actually mass damping devices. So they're to counteract any resonance from the cabinets either side. They're mounted again in a soft rubber grommet with padding all the way around, so they actually move. When we put these things together, we almost massage them into place. It's a different experience when building these. Crossover itself is mounted in the base of the speaker, again fully isolated from any other part of the loudspeaker. We just want you to hear all the detail that's in these tracks and not be interfering or having a sound or a saying what it should sound like. That's the artist, that's the producer. And this comes from our background in the world of pro studio mastering, and we're used in studios throughout the world. A number of artists use our products. So
Also, a quick question. That's a soft dome mid-range, is that right?
yes, it is. Yeah, it's unique to us as well. So that's all built at the factory in Luton in Hertfordshire. So all PMC speakers are still handmade. We've got a very small team that we've been with us for a long time. Everything we build and do is a matched pair, so all the components are matched and tested. Still listened to by someone in the factory. Doesn't matter if you're buying a pair of 25-21 eyes or Fenestria. They've been listened to in the factory. They're then signed up by the engineers. So, we put in that extra attention to detail to deliver, hopefully.
Every speaker? So the Prodigy ones, everything's listened to?
They test them all the same, yeah. They'll go through the same test period. Obviously, they go through the same sweep test and everything. But as you take the tour around the factory in Luton, you can see we've got a sound booth in there, and they go in and they're listened to. We've got set tracks, a vocal piece that we listen to, a piece of speech that's used as a reference point. And so again, as you move around the factory, although we can store everything electronically that we test, so we know what every speaker should do, we still have the original first two pairs that we keep as a reference. So the factories also looks like a little bit of a museum in places. You've got all the speakers lined up. So yeah, it's we still do things maybe the old-fashioned way, but we see the proper way to hopefully deliver outstanding product that has its place in the market. It's very different and very unique, and I'm incredibly proud to be here with you guys and get you to have a listen in a second.
Are these available strictly passive, or are they also available in an active configuration?
Just a passive loudspeaker.
Just
as
a
well.
passive.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll introduce you to the new actives in a bit.
Oh, hurrah.
So
Okay. Interesting.
That's to come. So as mentioned earlier, we've got the new active 23 eyes upstairs. Really excited for you to hear those, because we launched those back in February in the UK at the Bristol Hi-Fi show, and the response has been incredible. Really pleased and proud of what that's done to that 25i product. It just moves the goalpost massively. So fingers crossed you'll agree with what you hear. So, but
Let me ask you, when you say it's a speaker like no other, is this the first that's ever done 2 transmission lines?
yes, 2
Okay.
separate lines in one loudspeaker. Yeah.
And in terms of the fluid damping, is that the first to do that?
Yes, I
tweaking?
believe so. I may be incorrect on that. It might be something we've tried before previously.
Do you share what fluid that is?
I knew you got somebody who can ask me that. I didn't know what
Baby
it was
oil.
called. No,
Yeah.
it's not. And I took a picture on my phone of what it was called because I never remember.
Thousand Island dressing.
It's an emulsion.
It's called.
It's probably that whiskey there.
Where is it? Yeah, I haven't got to that bit yet. Let me find that out for you, just so you've got the information. I cannot remember what it's called.
Is there any maintenance required on that fluid filling or anything? It's pretty dense,
Yeah.
probably.
Very
You get
dense,
quarantine,
very-
you're asking you by new forms
Actually,
or
incredibly
something,
hard
right?
work as well. Not that
Yeah,
that's-
almost like a
Years.
gel
There
gel
we
type
go,
thing.
yes.
Okay.
But you can,
Sorry.
you can.
Called fluid, but probably,
Yeah.
yeah.
We will say, when you go up, you just push that, you just feel that rubber grommet.
Okay. That's cool though, yeah, very cool. I've never seen 2 transmission lines, so
It's, yeah, I mean, it was.
that's a lot of cabinet inside. I mean, if you had a cross section of this thing,
yeah,
that thing would be pretty impressive
It's
as well.
incredible when we do that with a lot of the product. So I think we've got Prodigy 5 cut in half upstairs, or
Mhm.
we've done it with 23s and above. But yeah, when we have one of these spliced down the middle, it's quite.
It's
impressive.
just not an
Yeah.
empty cat. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's sometimes with PMC products, it's the bits that you can't see that's actually the fundamental important side of it. What transmission line offers you above and beyond a standard ported bass reflex speaker is, the proof is always in the pudding with it. So.
So we're gonna give him a listen, or do you guys want to hear from
Well, I
Rashida-san
thought
first?
let's introduce Ishida-san as well and let him